Sorry, good morning, people. How are we this morning? Um, can I just ask that you unmute yourself? Or, yeah, can you unmute yourself so that I can hear what you're saying, if that's okay? Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear anything that you are saying though. Can you check your speakers or your microphone or everything that it's on? Okay, I still can't hear anything though. Um, The sound is on because I can hear the computer sounds, but just in terms of your microphone, I can see that you are speaking, but I can't hear anything. So it's not from my side that the problem is. Let me just hear if I can. I'm just gonna try and play a song or something so I can hear if it's this computer's microphone. No, this computer's fine. Switching to the TV. Okay, let me know when you're done with that. I'll go through my notes along, and then if it doesn't work, then you can just type your responses on the side throughout the tutorial. Yeah, just let me know if you've come right. Hello, can you guys hear me over there? Okay, but I cannot hear you at all. Do you maybe just want to check that your sound system is sorted out and that your speakers are sorted or something like that? Um, I can't see what it is that you're trying to show me. Do you want to type it in on the side maybe? Type it in on the group chat. I'm trying to show you that all our sounds are to the max. Okay. Okay. I can't figure out what the problem is, but we can't spend any more time on that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna go through what has been prepared for the class or for this tutorial, and then if you have any queries or comments or questions, unfortunately, you'll just have to type it in on the group chat or on the side. Is that okay? You guys good with that? Okay. So good morning. It is the 21st of August. I believe it's the second last day of the term before you guys go on holiday just for a week, which is lovely. Good morning, good morning. Just to give you guys some feedback on the assignment, the one about your family. Um, it was well done. Most of the assignments did get good marks, and you guys followed the referencing well and the outline well, and you basically followed the instructions. I do want to say that I appreciate the close, personal, intimate detail that you went into when uh, giving. Yes, I apologize. I've got my courses wrong. My bad. I do apologize for that. But some of you are doing family development. I was speaking about that. Yes, the one about intelligence. For those of you doing the family development course, those assignments will be done sometime today. The intelligence will take a bit longer because one of the tutors that was supposed to be marking your scripts is no longer able to tutor with us, so she had to give all of her scripts unto me. But there was a few days late, so I had to first finish the work that I had to do, and then I can actually carry on marking your things. So I will try to get that to you as soon as I can within the next week or so. Unfortunately, it won't be out today, but the family marks will be out today, so you don't have to worry about that. So just off the bat, how did you feel about the assignment that you wrote on intelligence? What were your thoughts about it? How did you feel it went? How do you what is it that you took from it? Just writing the assignment, researching what you did, getting the information that you did from Natalie. How did you guys feel about the assignment in general? It was easy and interesting. Okay, that's good. Anything else that you'd like to add? Nothing. Okay, no problem. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over a summary of four topics that you guys have already touched on. I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm gonna use the lecture notes that you have been given, but I'm not gonna go into great detail as the lectures. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go slide by slide and I'm gonna explain the main. Will the work for Unit 4 be uploaded? Unit 4, are you talking about consciousness? I'm not following. Could you please explain? What is Unit 4 supposed to be? Is it not supposed to be consciousness? Okay, I'm sure it will be uploaded already. I think Unit 4 should only start in next term, but it will be uploaded if it is supposed to be uploaded. So you don't have to worry about that. It will be sorted out. For now, what I want to do is I just want to go over a brief summary of consciousness, learning and memory, intelligence, and motivation and emotion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share the lecture notes and I'm going to go through it slide by slide. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see my face. You'll just be able to hear me. I'll try not to go too fast, even though it's a lot of content to be covering in about 35 minutes or so. But I want you to, if there's a slide or a concept that you don't understand, stop me and then ask me to explain it. Because this tutorial is about just refreshing what you've already been taught, refreshing what's already been given to you in the lectures, and then just giving you a better understanding of something that you may or may not understand. Is that okay? Sounds good? Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to start with consciousness for now. Let me just get that for you. Do we see that? Is it big on your screen? Is it covering the whole screen? Hello? Okay, sorry, we just had a breaking connection there. Okay, so be quick to type. I'll keep my eye on the messages and just let me know if there's anything you don't understand. So firstly it says, characteristics of consciousness. Consciousness is our moment-to-moment awareness of ourselves and our environment. It is subjective and it is private. It is self-reflective and central to the sense of self. It changes all the time and it is connected to selective attention. So simply put, what you are conscious about is just your awareness of I am who I am. I am a person, your awareness of your environment, your awareness of what's going on around you, your awareness of your thinking, your awareness of your thoughts, your awareness of how your thoughts impact the things that you do, of how your words impact the things that you do, of how your actions impact other people. And it's basically just your level of understanding of your awareness of yourself and your environment around you. So that's simple. If I can break consciousness down into one simple sentence, it would simply be awareness of oneself and awareness of one's environment. Simply put. Can I go on to the next slide? Cool. Selective attention. So selective attention focuses our awareness on some stimuli to the exclusion of others. Basically, it's choosing what you are going to focus on and choosing what you are going to not focus on. So if you're driving on the road, your selective attention would be then in front of you, and you are excluding your attention from what's laying on the back seat. You're excluding your attention from 10 cars behind you. You're excluding your attention from who's around the corner and whatever. You have selected your attention, not intention, your attention to be on what is in front of you. Does that make sense? I can carry on, simple enough. Levels of consciousness. This is always interesting. So Freud was very big on the whole consciousness deal. And he said that there are 3 levels of consciousness basically. The first one is no, there should be more than 3. Okay, unconscious and subconscious would be the same. The first level is your consciousness, your conscious thoughts, is the thoughts and perceptions which are currently aware of. So you're aware of the fact that you're thinking, okay, I'm hungry, or I'd like some coffee, or this or that. It's you aware of it. You know that it's in your mind. You know and you understand that you are thinking about it. Pre-consciousness is the events that happen outside our conscious awareness, but can be recalled, so we can remember it. Let's say, for instance, what happened last week at your friend's house, or what happened last week at church. It's in your pre-conscious memory. It's not currently in your thoughts. It's not currently in your awareness. But if I tell you, think about what happened at church last Sunday, you can recall it. Your mind can bring it back, and then bring it from your pre-conscious awareness to your conscious awareness. Does that make sense? We understand what we mean when we say pre-conscious and conscious. So you're able to recall it when you are told to think about it, or when something triggers that memory, or whatever it may be. And then your unconscious, we all know about this, is that it cannot be brought into conscious memory under normal circumstances. It's the things that you think about without being aware that you are actually thinking about it, if that can make sense. It's very difficult to explain and to comprehend the unconscious mind, because it's basically the thoughts and the motivations in your mind, in your being, if I can call it that you are unaware of, and you're unable to bring it out as easily as you would your pre-conscious. Sometimes people have unconscious motivations in life. Let's say, for instance, let's just use a simple example. Someone told them that they would always be a failure, and they've now begun to internalize this, and they now in life try very hard to not fail at things, and give their all and give their best and break themselves just simply to not fail at whatever it is that they're doing. But because of this, they don't realize that actually unconsciously they are trying to counter what this person has said about them years back into their life. They think, oh no, I'm just a motivated person. I just love working hard. I just love doing this. I love doing that. That's in their conscious and their pre-conscious awareness. But their unconscious awareness is the actual reason for you doing this is simply because you don't want to be seen as a failure, as this other person or whatever it is has labeled you. So that's unconscious and pre-conscious. It's simple. There's a cognitive viewpoint of consciousness as well. This, I explained to you the Freudian viewpoint. He believes that there's a conscious level, a pre-conscious level, and an unconscious level. Side note as well, Freud believed that your unconscious awareness is much, much larger and influences you much more than your actual conscious and your pre-conscious awareness. It's the whole illustration of the iceberg, and just a small piece of the iceberg is above the surface, but if you look beneath, it's like 10, 20 times bigger. So he believes that at our conscious level is the tip of the iceberg, what we know, what we can think about, what we can recall, and everything that is unconscious that we are unaware of, our motivations, makes up about 80% of our consciousness. So that was what Freud believed. There's a cognitive viewpoint of cognitive consciousness as well. It's number one is where consciousness is controlled by controlled explicit consciousness processing, the conscious use of attention and effort, and then automatic implicit processing without consciousness, awareness, or effort. Like let's say, for instance, let's use driving again. Control consciousness would be you are telling yourself, okay, I need to put the gear lock in, I need to put the clutch in, I need to put the car into first gear, I need to check my blind spots, I need to do this, I need to do that to move forward. Eventually, when you're driving for long enough, those things become unconscious, or they become automatic or implicit. They just become a part of you and you do it without thinking. A simple example would be if I were to pour warm boiling water on your hand, would your reaction be controlled explicit or automatic implicit? It would be automatic. Without thinking, you would pull your hand away. You're not going to think to yourself, okay, warm water on my hand is burning, it's currently causing a lot of pain, I need to pull my hand away or react. It would be an automatic, immediate response. So from a cognitive viewpoint, which means from a thinking viewpoint, there's two levels of consciousness. It's the one that is controlled, where you are controlling this type of thinking, or the automatic, where it's just a part of you and your mind and your body works together and just does this thing automatically. Cool, can we move on? We are definitely not going to be able to cover everything today. I can see that. Yeah, attention. Attention is the process of concentrating on some feature of the environment and possibly to exclude others. So I explained to you about focused and selective attention, where you choose to focus your attention on one thing, and by choosing to focus your attention on one thing, you are excluding other things from your attention. So you're choosing to focus your attention on the road, and you're excluding everything else that is happening in the car, behind you, around you, and whatever. Selective attention. That's simple enough, right? Okay. Attention. Automaticity is reached when a task no longer requires conscious focus control. Divided attention is the ability to respond to multiple tasks. Okay, so divided attention, simply like multitasking. Like women like to say, they like to multitask, they're able to multitask, whatever it is. Just so you know that I can multitask just as well as any female would like to do. But anyway, so automaticity is reached when you are able to do something that is sort of automatic. You don't have to think about it, it just comes automatic. You're walking down the street, you're not thinking about walking, you're not thinking, okay, I need to put my one leg in front of the other leg, and then after that leg is in front of the one leg, I need to put the other leg in front of that one as well. I need to move my hands from side to side. That would just be exhausting. And a walk to the park would be so tiring you wouldn't even want to do it. So with simple tasks like walking, Um, it doesn't require conscious control. We are able to do them without thinking about it, correct? Divided attention, the ability to respond to multiple tasks. You're driving, you're able to text, you're able to eat, or whatever it is. Please don't do that, it's very dangerous. But if you are able to do more than one thing at one time, maybe you're chatting and you're watching a movie and you're busy eating or whatever it is, you are able to divide your attention to different tasks, which has its advantages, it has its disadvantages as well. The advantage is you're able to give attention to three tasks, you're able to do three things at once. Disadvantage, you're not able to give full attention, and therefore you're not able to optimize each task. You're not able to get the best out of each task. Does that make sense? If someone's watching a movie and they're busy chatting and eating, they will obviously miss certain things, certain non-verbal cues that someone who's only watching the movie would pick up. Does that make sense? Can we move on? Excellent. States. Okay. So the ordinary state, we're talking about states of mind now. Jay-Z has the song Empire State of Mind. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but I'm speaking about various states of consciousness and various states of your mind. So the ordinary state is your conscientious reality. It can be verified by others, and our mind constructs a mental image of the world and the sensory information. It's basically your normal everyday life that other people are also able to understand and relate to, and that our mind constructs um, in terms of the sensory information that we receive sensory information, the things that we see, things that we hear, the things that we can touch, the things that we can feel. It's raining, I can feel it on my head. It's cold, I feel it with my body. I can hear the hail falling on the roof. I can see the hail falling down. That's the sensory information that comes through, and that's the my mind constructs the picture of me seeing and feeling and experiencing the rain. So that's in the ordinary state. Then we go to the altered state, where our normal function is changed, and things that can alter our normal state of mind include sleep, drugs, deep meditation, um, other sources of information inform different realities. Basically, what that means is that the information that you receive about your reality will then influence your state of mind and influence how you begin to perceive reality in its entirety. Does that make sense? Excellent. Can I move on? You guys are just on the ball this morning. I like it. We only have 15 minutes left. If I do rush, please let me know. But yeah, sleep and dreaming. Okay, this is interesting. Oh yes, side note. You guys need to be please responding on the discussion forums. Make sure that you respond at least a few times. Just write a few hundred words on the discussion forums. One of the topics is sleep and dreaming, and it's very interesting. It's very good ideas that you guys have posted on there, but I realize not everyone has posted. So if you could please respond to that, and I'll respond here and there. Um, I might not respond to everyone's comment. That doesn't mean that I think your comment is invalid or doesn't make sense. It's just that some of them don't really need responses because they're that good. So if I don't really respond to your comment, you know you've commented something brilliant. But sleep and dreaming, this has always been a very interesting topic and a topic of much research and debate over the years. So before we go further, can I just get a quick um, just a quick view from you guys? What do you think the purpose of dreaming is and how are dreams constructed? Just discuss it amongst yourself for 2 minutes and then give me a couple of sentences on what you think dreaming is, how dreams are constructed, and what the purposes of dreams are. What the purpose of dreams are, sorry. Okay, dreaming. A dream can warn you about something. It is also portrays what is your unconscious desires. Okay, that unconscious desires part, who was the person that emphasized that the most? Very famous psychologist. You can't get this one wrong. Freud, there we go. If you got that wrong, I would probably lose my mind. Freud is the guy who emphasized unconscious desires more than anything, and he certainly believed that our lives are driven by our unconscious desires, especially to do with our sexual desires. It's a very complex and much debated topic, but that's mainly what he believed. So that's what Freud said. Um, let's move on. The various stages of sleep. Okay, phase one is the slower pulse, where your pulse begins to slow down, your breathing and your brain patterns and your muscles begin to relax. So you're just beginning to relax and enter into a state of calmness and just slowing down generally your brain functioning, and the way your brain is, the waves will become, the frequency will become lower. Phase two and three is where you become more and more relaxed. Your heart rate and your blood pressure becomes down. It goes down, I mean, and you're just more and more relaxed. Stage four is the most relaxed form of sleep, and it's somewhat paradoxical because in stage four is when your eyes begin to move rapidly. Like, I don't know if you've seen someone sleeping. If you look closely at their eyes, you could see that underneath their eyelids, their eyes are moving back and forth and up and down and whatever. Have you seen that before in someone that is sleeping? So when someone is doing that, when their eyelids are moving up, and not their eyelids, but you can see from underneath their eyelids, their eyes are moving back and forth and up and down, that is an indicator that this person is dreaming, that they are in stage four of sleep. Just an interesting fact is that it takes about an hour and a half for you to enter into stage four of sleep, but the more deprived you are of sleep, so basically it takes you about an hour and a half to actually start dreaming. Um, but the more deprived you are of sleep, the quicker it is that you will slip into REM sleep. So maybe it will take an hour or 30 minutes or 20 minutes, depending how tired you are and how little you slept before. So sleep disorders, these are very interesting. You have insomnia, simply when people cannot sleep. By the way, just because you can't sleep for 2 or 3 nights, or you struggle to sleep for 2 or 3 hours, doesn't mean you have insomnia. I mean, I'm all sure we've heard someone say, "Oh my word, I only fell asleep at 3 o'clock this morning. I have insomnia." That's not what insomnia is. Insomnia occurs when you literally cannot fall asleep right through the night. So you are up for the night and you are stay awake until you need to go to work the next morning. Or your sleep is restless and breaking in and out of sleep, and it occurs for weeks and weeks on end. So 2 or 3 nights of not being able to sleep properly or falling asleep late doesn't mean that you have insomnia. It just means you need to stop sleeping in the afternoon or stop drinking coffee at 10, 11 o'clock at night. So people tend to exaggerate the word insomnia. That's the most common and the most widely known of sleeping disorders. Then you have narcolepsy, which is extreme daytime sleepiness, sudden or uncontrollable sleep. It can last a minute, it can last an hour. Narcolepsy can be very dangerous because you would be doing just a normal daily task and automatically go into a state of sleep. It's not where you fall asleep, it's almost like fainting. And sometimes it can be very dangerous for people who are operating heavy machinery or even driving, because while you are driving, you would automatically just go into a state of sleeping. That's what narcolepsy is. It's a very dangerous disorder. And then sleep apnea is repeated stop and restart of breathing during sleep, which is dangerous as well because some people can actually suffocate. And then night terrors. This was common in at the end, well, not at the end of World War II alone, but at the end of wars, many soldiers would develop this sleep disorder called night terrors, where they would have frightening dreams, wake up screaming, wake up sweating, wake up with the sheets all tangled and whatever. It's a frightening dreams and near panic state. So that's the main sleep disorders. Hopefully none of you have them, and that you have just wonderful, good night's rest every night, because joy comes in the morning. Dreaming. Here we go. This has been a topic of much debate and much research. And up until today, I believe we're still struggling to understand what it is exactly that dreaming is about. So it says that everyone dreams every night. You dreamed about an hour and a half each night in the REM phase. Sleepwalking and bedwetting is actually not related to dreaming, because a lot of people think that the more vivid your dreams are, the more intense your dreams are. It can actually cause you to wet your bed or to sleep or to sleepwalk and whatever, but the two are actually not related. And then dreaming also provides an understanding for important psychological processes. Yes, you do dream every night. Just because you don't recall what you have dreamt doesn't mean that you don't dream. Because you must understand, even though you are going to sleep and your body is shutting down, your brain never shuts down. Only time a human brain shuts down is when that person dies or they're brain dead, basically dead. But otherwise, your brain is always interacting. There's always waves. There's always electromagnetic waves pulsing through your brain. So even though you are unaware of it, you are always dreaming. I mean, you do dream every single night that you sleep. Can we move on? Okay. So there are a few theories of dreaming and what it is that they mean. Firstly, some people say that it's wish fulfillment. So like Freud said, it's in your dreams, let's say you dream about meeting Justin Bieber and him marrying you. You're marrying Justin Bieber or Antonio Banderas, whoever it is. That would, some people would say, well, then unconsciously there is a desire that you have, that is what you want, and you say, no, I don't want to, I hate Justin Bieber, he sucks, and whatever it is. People who hold the wish fulfillment view of dreams would say that the fact that you dreamt about marrying him means that unconsciously this is what you desire, and Freud would emphasize this greatly as well. You would also make use of symbols. So various symbols would represent something else. So let's say, let me just think of an example. Okay, I can't think of one now, but he would use various symbols to represent certain things. So in place of something that you want would be something that is related to what you want. Does that make sense? So it wouldn't be that actual thing, but the symbol represents what it is that you desire. Then there's the activation synthesis theory, which means that your dreams are basically just a product of the electromagnetic waves that are shooting around in your brain, and they don't really mean anything. It's all just random. It's all just haphazard. It all has to just do with what's happening in your day or what you've been thinking about or whatever. And while you're sleeping, these electromagnetic waves shoot around in your brain, and they go from left to right and up and down, and they create these images, they create these thoughts and realities. So they don't really mean anything. And then there's fantasy prone reality. It's just where people live in a world where they can do whatever they want, where they can be whatever they want, where there's no limits, where everything is just great and amazing. Fantasy prone world. Here we go. Things that influence our consciousness and how they affect it. Page 222 will show you the effects of these things, but These things definitely will influence your consciousness, they will influence your unconsciousness, they will influence your dreams, and they could influence your sleep as well. So we won't delve much into that. Wow, that picture, it's quite weird. Okay, we won't have enough time to go over all of this now at the moment. Hypnosis, Franz Mesmer, that's where the word mesmerize comes from. I think we'll just end there for today. Is that okay? So basically that is consciousness. The rest of it, I'm sure the lecture notes are on Funda for you to go through. I'm really sorry that we didn't have enough time to go through everything today, but can I give you a homework task for the holidays? I want you to, this is something that I did in my undergrad and it was really, really helpful. It might take a little bit of time, but it will be extremely, extremely valuable, especially when you write an essay on this topic or you have to write your final exam, is to take the chapters that you've done already, every chapter in the book, and I want you to summarize that chapter in your own words. I know that might seem like a daunting task, but it's really not. So you go through the chapter, let's say the chapter is 20 pages, you go through each page, decide what's important, and just write it down in your exam pad. Write it down in your exam pad, make little diagrams, make little flow charts and maps and whatever. That way you are cementing the understanding of the work in your mind, and it will be very, very helpful when it comes to exam time and for projects and essays and things that you need to write. You don't have to do it, but I'm just saying it will be extremely helpful. So you'll take the chapter on consciousness perhaps, you'll write about 6 or 7 pages on a summary of consciousness. Not writing your own thing, you're just summarizing what is in the textbook already. Then you'll go on to memory and motivation and what's the other one? Sorry, learning and memory, intelligence and motivation and emotion. And just something that you can do for the rest of your academic career, in fact, is to just summarize things that are given to you all the time. That way you are engaging with the text and you are causing yourself to understand it, and it will be something that you won't forget. I've got tons of notes at home of how I used to summarize and just write down things all the time, all the time. So that'll be really helpful for you to do. Like I said, it's something that you can just decide to do if you want to, if you have free time. But otherwise, have a great holiday. Please be safe, make good decisions, look after yourselves, and I'm hoping to see you back in about 14 days, exactly 14 days actually. Is that cool? Okay, see you guys, keep well. Bye-bye.